This SEC on CBS postgame show is presented by Belfor, the leading disaster recovery partner for businesses and community. Alongside former NFL vet, 10-year NFL vet, Lige Douzable, I am Hakeem Dermish as we bring you the postgame show between Alabama and Texas A&M as Alabama survives and advances, thanks in part to the senior Jermaine Burton, who had himself a game, 9 catches for 197 yards and 2 touchdowns. And this play was critical by Jace McClellan. End of the game, and they pick up the first down right there. Jace McClellan, like a knee to himself, and then pops it up in the air, able to get the first down. It was a little squirrely at the end, Lige, but they're able to survive and advance, get out of College Station with a win.
What a play by Jace McClellan right there. You see it right there. His knee is down, so if he catches it right there with his knees down, they're short of the first down. He tips it up to himself, Hakeem, has the presence of mind to get that knee up and then scampers for the first down. I like the play call, but Texas A&M had a perfect defensive call, too. They blitzed that corner in the slot right there, because I was saying right before that play, get, Jalen Milroe on the run. If he doesn't like it, he can just go down. The clock will continue to run. They were running a bootleg there, but Texas A&M, perfect defensive call, had the slot corner blitz. He finds McClellan, great catch by him and presence of mind. Keep that knee up and get the first down. But that was a crazy ending, Hakeem. That game should not have come down.
Well, and you didn't like the play thereafter on a pass play, and he kind of spiked it into the ground, because I'm sure Jalen Milroe was a little bit uncertain there. We're throwing the ball here? What are we doing?
So that's my concern, right? Tommy Rees, you have a young second-year player, first-year starter, right? Don't even give him that option on a RPO, right? All they should have done was either hand the ball off or take a knee, and the game is over. So I'm a little mystified that a Nick Saban coach team would make a mistake like that and not execute at the end of the game, because in that situation, after you pick up the first down, Hakeem, the game is over. Take 3 knees and go back home to Bama with a win.
Yeah, they also need to clean up the penalties. They had 14, and this has been something of a trend for Nick Saban's teams as of late. We saw a lot of penalties in the Texas game. They lost that game, but this is a huge win for them because they stay in contention in the SEC West. This was essentially an SEC West de facto elimination game. Texas A&M is out at this point in terms of college football playoff implications and getting into the SEC championship. Alabama survives. We saw Texas lose today, so very much in the mix. What does this win mean for the Tide?
It was massive. I talked about this in the SEC pregame show earlier in the week. If Alabama went on to win this game, they were going to be in the driver's seat to play possibly Georgia in the SEC championship game with the intentions to go to the college football playoffs. Because I think the biggest test they got down the road, I believe, is at Kentucky. So this was a big game to go in to College Station and get this win. You talked about the penalties. You cannot continue to play like that and play in the college football playoffs. I mean, there was a chance for them to go up 14 after the Chris Braswell blocked field goal, but then Dallas Turner just play where he was 10 yards behind the play, hit somebody from the side, a block in the back, and they call that touchdown back. Like, that game should have been over literally probably with 5 or 6 minutes left in the game. But the penalties kept Texas A&M in the game. You heard Nick Saban even mention that at the end of the game.
He did. He gave credit to Texas A&M because they are a very good football team, a very good defensive football team led by his former assistant, Jimbo Fischer. Nick Saban now 30-3 in his career against former assistants. His first loss came to Jimbo back in that bonkers game in 2021 that was in College Station. Back they are here today, and they're able to survive and advance as Alabama improves to 36-1, the best road record against unranked opponents since 2008. A survive and advance situation indeed for the Tide. And let's welcome in the man who called this game for CBS, Gary Danielson, former NFL and college quarterback. And Gary, that end of that game got a little squirrely. Your reaction to what you saw there in the final couple minutes.
Yeah. Well, when that touchdown was called back by Anais Smith, you could almost see what was going to unfold because of the play clock and A&M having all 3 timeouts. They were forced to throw, and Alabama did the job. They stopped them, got 1 holding penalty. They kind of got everything kind of out of whack in the game right there. But to force the field goal and burn a timeout, I think that was the story, because it would have been a lot different if A&M had 3 timeouts and pulled within a field goal to win the game.
Yeah, and Jace McClellan making a heck of a play, something that I don't know that I've ever seen before, where knee goes down, pops it up to himself, gets the first down. And you had said early on the broadcast, if they can't run the ball, throw it. Clearly, I guess they were listening to you, Gary, because they ran the ball for a total of 23 yards in this game.
Well, I don't know if you could believe that Alabama would come in here with 14 penalties and run the ball for 23 yards and win the game. I mean, that's almost an amazing part. You know, this Alabama team this year is built to run the ball. They couldn't, but what are you going to do? You can't keep knocking your head against the wall and say, I want to prove we're going to run the ball. They just started throwing it, and Jalen Milroe answered the call for the football team in Alabama. He had a great football game.
Gary, this is the second time you've seen Jalen Milroe this particular season. What have you seen in his development to this point?
I think just reps mostly. You know, I mean, you don't get recruited in major colleges if you can't be a quarterback, but I think he's just kind of settled down. He's got a lot more experience, and now he's growing confidence. You know, the belief in the team, you know, when you get benched and then you come back in and it's your job again, you learn a lot of lessons. His lessons was, I'm the guy, and I'm going to do the job, and I think you can see him improving as he plays more and more.
Well, it's not March, it's October, but we can share a phrase from our NCAA tournament brethren. It is survive and advance indeed for Alabama on this day on the road to College Station. Gary Danielson, break it down for us here on CBS Sports HQ. Gary, appreciate it. We'll see you down the road here on HQ.
You got it. Thank you.
All right, great analysis there, and great to listen to Gary and Brad and Jenny on the call this afternoon. As you take a look at Saban's career against Jimbo Fischer, that one loss, that bonkers game a couple years ago, won on a field goal. That game was awesome. That was the first loss that Nick Saban had suffered to an assistant coach. And since then, he's gone 30-3, now 6-1 in his career against Jimbo Fischer as he gets the best of him on this day.